Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, guys. I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday afternoon. I could not wait longer to make a live video. It's been a while. It is August 26th today, and we arrived back on 23rd in the afternoon, so it's been about 3 days. But oh boy, you really need those days to just catch up and recover. It is so wonderful to be back. Have so many things to share with you guys, and I'm just happy to be able to do my videos again. My internet wasn't so great where I was staying, but it wasn't just that. I felt that taking some time off could be a good thing because it gives me an opportunity to also reflect, have experiences, and learn something new. Because um, you need sometimes to take a break to see things through, and that's definitely was a learning experience. And today I want to share with you some of my perspectives on the travel and reasons for travel to Ukraine and travel in general. And I want to encourage everybody in the room to pitch in. What do you think about the gift of travel? And what's your perspective on that? Let me okay, this camera might fall at any minute, so please be patient. All right. Thank you so much, Dan. Dan is saying that you you are generous and charming. Well, I really love to be generous because there is something about that energy that you give out that always comes back to you in abundance. And when you are in that flow, it just everybody benefits. So I accept the compliment, and I appreciate very much uh, kind words. And it's so wonderful to be here. I really call my YouTube channel my YouTube family. So it's wonderful to be here today. I feel the good energy. Uh, if you want to visit Ukraine, if you have some particular plans, then you can contact me on consultveronica@gmail.com. I will post an email in the first comment under the video, all right? Okay, the chat, I don't know if you guys know this, the chat moves very fast. Bill Hosmer is saying, hello, Veronica. All you do for us is greatly appreciated. Your insights and knowledge are helpful. Oh, thank you so much, Bill. Glad to hear that. Oh, and this is great. Fred is saying, I went for wife but fell in love with the country. And this is the topic I'm happy to greet you all, guys, and this is a topic that I really want to talk about today. Is reasons to travel to Ukraine, reasons to travel in general, the gift of travel. Very often when we have some extra money, let's say, and or we have some extra opportunities, we're thinking about getting bigger house, or improve our kitchen. Our bathroom needs renovating, and our porch is needs to be redone. We need to build a deck, and that's all understandable. I'm not against home improvement. In fact, I love when people feel comfortable and cozy, or improve things in their lives that they want to improve. We all have our place, our spaces in life where we like to spend, but we need to make sure that when we spend our energy in money, it goes into something bigger than just everyday needs. And if I tell in my town about travel, people really think you're out of your mind, you are money waster, or they think it's luxuries they can never afford. Just so you know, I live in a very small town, so it doesn't define, of course, all of Michigan. But traveling is considered like a big luxury, and people can't figure out, how somebody can just hop on a plane and travel, because even just the fares. But think about this. we have this big, beautiful world, and some of us, um, some of the people are born in this one spot, and they basically, they've never learned about the world, the history and geography. Some people do well in school, some people don't do very well. And no matter how much you learn, when you come somewhere, when you actually travel, this is when you really learn. When you travel, when you talk to people, when you break the stereotypes. And for you guys, because so many of you, like Fred just mentioned, that, oh, I was looking for a wife and I fell in love with the country. You know, before you commit to somebody, um, it's a really a great idea to actually explore that country you think you want a person from. You might discover you don't want it. You might discover that the mentality is too different. You might discover that you don't. It's not working out so well for you. You might discover that, but most likely, you will discover that, oh my gosh, there is whole big world, and it was in the Soviet times, it was painted in a black paint, that everybody is so bad and it's such a poor country, that we are all like agriculture. It's so interesting because you really need to travel to see that. I'm back in Michigan for a couple of days, and I'm getting used to sticks and stones and woods. And people here think that Ukraine is agriculture, and I have nothing against the agriculture, but when you were born in a like 5 million people city with great architecture and all that, um, and somebody tells you from here who never traveled that, oh, I'm so sorry you traveled to that village, that just tells you the ignorance of people, and that you can't judge about the world before you had experienced that yourself. Whew. All right, let me see what's going on in the comments. All right, let's see. um yeah, that's right. And it's not about necessarily like impressing the woman, tell her this knowledge, but it will tell her that you know at least something, at least you know something about the culture. You're not complete zero. Because when she will come here, eventually she will learn a lot about US, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you will have a lot more in common when the person saw that you put effort to learn something, and that you actually travel. People that have some money in Ukraine, they travel a lot to different European countries, or they travel to Africa. So yeah, one of the main reasons, guys, for you to travel to Ukraine really is, I would say, really is discovering the culture and trying to feel it, experience it before you commit to somebody from that. Once again, uh, you want to know what you get yourself into. And there is so much contradiction if you go online and you see feedback about Ukrainian or Russian people. There would be some people saying, oh my gosh, these people are scammers, they are thieves, and they are just scammers, because of the dating industry. And some people will say that it's a rich culture, there is so much to learn. And they both are right. But you will have your own experience when you travel. And Ukrainian lady does not have that possibility to explore if she travels to if she actually, like, if you are engaged, she doesn't have a possibility to hop on a plane and check out US before she comes, because she needs visa and all that. She actually needs to commit to you before she comes here, but you have that privilege. On the other side, um, on the other side, it could be a good thing that she can't come and see it, because she might, like for example, if she has certain expectations, because a lot of Ukrainian people think America it's New York or Los Angeles or San Francisco. They don't know that 80% of America it's just like one floor buildings, very convenient. Everything is very simple and very, how to say this, uh, just everything is very convenient, but yet is almost too simple. Like today I'm gonna go out and people who don't know me gonna ask me if I'm gonna go for a wedding, just because I put a dress on and a little bit of makeup, the eyeshadows and earrings, so it's way too simple, the way people live. So in some ways you don't want to scare her away. You want to tell her the truth, but you don't want to scare her away. If you build a strong relationship, she will be able to adjust to a village as long as she can develop herself and you have common goals and common values. Um, so you do need to travel, to show that you put effort to get to know her, get to know her family. Or if you're not in any dating situation, you just want to see, you heard so much about it and you want to see it, yeah, you just have to do it. It's never going to be the right time. Somebody said that opening a business and getting pregnant, there is never right time for that. And I can sign under that. There is never a right time to have a baby because you have some plans, you want to do something, and here, oops, and your plans are changing. And so, as with a business, um, so with a business, it's always responsibility. It's always you have to mobilize things. And I have friends that I know for 7-8 years that were going to start a business and never done it. So, and same with travel, same thing with travel. If you wait for a perfect time when you have more money, when the weather is better, like some people really tell me, I want to go in October, but Veronica, what about the weather? And I'm just thinking about this. I don't want to sound critical, but they never gonna be a perfect weather. They never gonna be a perfect surrounding. It's never gonna be perfect circumstance. If you don't plan that travel, it will just never happen. And maybe that will encourage you to step in your masculine energy and say, hell, I'm going. I don't care if it's snowing, raining. I'm just gonna get my butt off the couch and go somewhere. It does take a lot of effort. My son was with me and he loves to travel, but there are long lines and there are TSA and all this federal stuff and checking the bags. And we also took a side trip to Egypt with my son on the Red Sea. We did some, diving with the colorful fish and all that. But it took a lot of effort. They were searching us. They were checking everything. I mean, it's not. If that would be so easy, if travel would not require finance, if travel would not require effort and being uncomfortable, everybody would travel. But you can give yourself a gift which nobody can take away from you. You can give yourself the gift of experiences and learning and experience the world. So that is one of those things that you think that just because you make some big like a big salary, for example, big salary compared to Ukraine, guys, every salary is big. If you make $2,000 a month here in US, for Ukraine is a lot of money, but you are not in Ukraine. You need to pay bills here. So, but still, you have a chance to give yourself a gift I really see travel as an investment, and you can experience it for yourself. Don't listen even to me or to other bloggers or to other people. You have to experience things for yourself. Somebody just, I think, wrote that nobody smiles. Yeah, people do not smile on the streets. It's not part of the culture, for example. But you still might have a great experience when you approach somebody. At first, they will be cold, but then you might end up having dinner with their family in a couple hours. So this is why, when you travel, you got to be uncomfortable, and don't care about travel with having a different skin color or different race or different nationality. This is so ridiculous. Why people are so concerned about it? The world have no borders rather than the borders that people had created. If you are if you are the person of the world, so do you only want to stick with people who look like you? This is just such a weak statement. This is so ridiculous, and especially for men, guys. I'm just my channel. I say things how they are. If you claim your masculine energy, your presence, as long as you don't do anything illegal, you step out of your comfort zone. It's just absolutely crazy to me that people are so afraid to just go and see something. One day you're not even gonna be here. One day at first you're like, oh well, one day I'll have more money. Then, oh well, one day I'll have more time. Then one day, oh, I don't feel like it now. And then it's too late. It's too late. You just don't know what's gonna happen. You just don't know. I took the side trip with my son to Egypt. I had a dream to show him the underwater world. It has a beautiful coral fish, and you can dive or you can snorkel in Sharm el Sheikh, and you just see this beautiful coral reefs and all kinds of fish. It's absolutely incredible. For 7 years, I had that vision in my head that him and I were swimming. We have masks on our faces, and we're swimming in a cloud of beautiful, colorful fishes. And here we are. I only have 4 days because I have responsibilities and family to travel. And I'm like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go to Africa in August? Because I don't like heat. I live in Michigan. I don't like when it's too hot. And then I'm thinking, I am about to do this mistake again. Oh, it's not the perfect time and I would like to stay longer. Well, the question is, are you going at all? Or are you finding an excuse not to make the jump? Because I knew it will be uncomfortable, the flying, the searching, the travel thing. But guess what? When I was there and we were experiencing all that stuff, I felt that even 1 day or 2 days were worth it to hop on a plane and experience that. Don't deny experiences for. Don't deny the experiences for yourself. Don't do that, because nobody. You can hire the best coach, but the best fitness coach, but you're gonna be the one that needs to do the push-ups. Nobody will do them for you. Same thing with travel. If you deny yourself things, or you spend money on addictions, or you think that things you see on the internet are true, and you spend hours and days and months and years supplying scammer people on internet and think they are your girlfriends. You think you have a wife or a girlfriend, and I know people that spend a year money that you can go on several trips. So instead of living in illusion, go and try. There is a lot of downsides to Ukraine, guys, but you have to learn for yourself. So I really believe that the main reason to travel to Ukraine is to actually just experience it. And there are many other, raps saying about China. I'm not just saying that, oh, everybody should go to Ukraine. There are so many other countries, the whole world basically, where you can go and explore. Um, it's not a waste of money, it's investment in your inner world. If you get joy from it, if you get exploration, you might be able to change your life, and you might be able to rebuild your life and reschedule and maybe move to another place, maybe figure out how to make more money, maybe get rid of bad habits that you have, and you spend money every day on beer and cigarettes. Have you ever count how much money that is? I don't drink or smoke, so I don't know, but I know it's a lot of money. So in Egypt, it's a very dry heat. It's very dry. So that was a savior. And well, we had air conditioner in the hotel. In my room, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But we had a great, it was a beautiful hotel, and in the lobbies they had wonderful air conditioner. So just go to the lobby, you got great service. By the way, the Egypt is obviously a third world country, and it was really funny because you get served by how much they like you. This is really funny. So if they like you, you're gonna get the best service. If they don't like you, you're gonna get the minimum. It's not like in US where you're supposed to treat everybody equally. So it was really funny. For example, the first thing we saw at the airport was my son when we walked out from the plane and we were going through control. I noticed, like, my son noticed that men who work in the airport, these guys in a uniform were like, doing the eyes and winking and saying hello. And then when we were going through the luggage check, the guy who was the officer that was checking the luggage was sitting there, and he had all this official gear, and he was smoking a cigarette at the airport. So that was like, I knew it's going to be a great trip right there. I knew that it's going to be a lot of fun. And my son is obviously an American because he was born here, and he was like, he turned to me, Mom, he's smoking a cigarette in the airport. He's an officer. So that was, I took a picture of him. It's a little bit blurry because I didn't want to show that I'm taking pictures. So, but how in the world I would know that somebody can smoke in the airport in a third world country if I wouldn't go? So you do have to experience. It's like the same thing is to explain somebody how does the orange taste. You gotta experience it. So, all right, guys, I'm not participating in your discussions, and I would like to ask everybody to be respectful. Otherwise, I'll have to block you because I don't want to have. We have enough of negativity on TV, on everywhere. So I don't want to even hear about that. I hope that everybody will think. This is a point of exploring, actually. Unfortunately, some people are very close-minded. It would be nice if that would be also close-mouthed. But everybody on the internet can be so-called brave and say stuff. So let's see what's happening here. Thank you, Diego Lu. Thank you for the super chat and for a nice greeting. I appreciate that very much. Diego, where do you live? Are you in US? Thank you so much. Yes, I'm safe. I tell you, you do have to pay for fun in terms of travel. Um, it can be tough, and it can be very exhausting, but it's worth it so much. When we flew back, we had a very short connection between Frankfurt and, the we flew from Kiev to Frankfurt and from Frankfurt to uh, Detroit, and our connection was only hour and a half, and I could not register. I didn't know how to register on a plane, so everybody got their seats picked up. My son and I, we were on the very, very end of the plane. Where's the tail, so-called tail of the plane. So um, I was like, oh no, we're not gonna ever make it to our plane to Detroit, because just to get out from the plane, it will take us like half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And the Frankfurt airport is huge. And I asked a steward, a flight attendant, I asked him, do you think we have any chance to make it on our next plane? Because once again, we walked into the plane from one side, and then we were on the very end, very, very end. We had the last seat. And he looked at me and he said, maybe. I can, and he kind of mentioned that I can open it from the other end. And he kind of gave me that smile. And then he walked back in a few minutes and he said, hey, guess where we're going to open? And guess what? They opened, we were first out of the plane. First out of the plane, first on the bus. And we made it 10-15 minutes early even to our connection flight in Frankfurt. Yes, so that was awesome. I even had time to get my son a $10 hot dog. He was starving. And yeah, it was Frankfurt, Germany. Just on a side note, I think they forbid for people to bring water to airplane, so they can sell a bottle of water for $5 or $6 or more, or $8. So I think they just created a new $1 million business. So yeah, it's crazy. But my son was like, Mom, thank you so much. I needed some American food. I had food with me that my mom made for us, but he just wanted a hot dog. So I bought the most expensive hot dog in my life. But hey, that's what we do when we love somebody. He was so grateful, and we made it on a plane. So why I'm saying this story, guys, is that I could have sat there and cursed. Oh my God, we are lost on a plane. We never make it. But I thought, okay, if we never make it, I'll spend the night in Germany. The world not gonna end if we spend the night in Germany. Maybe take a hotel. And I just felt like talking to flight attendant, because they deal with the stuff every day. And I was not nagging, I was not angry. I just asked. I just only asked. It could have never happened. They might have told me, well, yes, you might be late. It's life. But he just felt like opening the opening the airplane from the other end, and it was awesome. And then we had the same situation when we came back to Detroit. I needed to go and throw away some food in a bathroom, because they don't let you to bring any food from Ukraine. And by the time I come out, there was a huge line for passport control in Detroit. And so I was like, we were lost in the line again. I was like, no. And of course, traveling with a child, he's tired. I'm a mess, but I'm a parent, so it doesn't count. Anyways, and I remember standing there and thinking, there is no way we're gonna be lost in the line. I'm never lost. I'm always lucky. Like, I always have things happening for me. There is no way that we're gonna stand here for 2 hours. And as I'm thinking this, the police officer, the officer comes, um, and say, hey, whoever has a green card or citizenship, uh, you're welcome to go through a new window. So guess what? We are in front of the line again. And passing control, they scan my eye because I have a green card. I'm about to receive citizenship this year. I am qualified to apply, but they actually scan my fingers and my eyes. It's really crazy. Was a nice officer, but then we got searched for agriculture, which was okay. Um, Everything worked out. But even if nothing happened, even if we would have had to be late, and we would be late on a passport control, yeah, they do the eye. I don't know how to say it in English. Сетчатка глаза. It's the eye has its own pattern. So my eyes are scanned. Yeah, I mean, it could have not worked out that well, but still, I mean, it's not a reason to not go for a travel. It's not a reason to just, sit on your butt at home. So, well, guys, I told you enough. Just sharing, the fresh emotions, but I'm gonna have a video review for some things. Definitely it's gonna go, hey, Delroy, I don't want to Anastasia date to sue me. If you want my advice or my insight on that, you can send me an email to consultveronica@gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do. But I want to say your questions have a basis for a concern. I'll just put it like that. So basically, the bottom line on this video is that yes, especially if you consider, marrying a Ukrainian woman, you should come and explore the culture. But I really think that you should do it anyway. I really think that we should consider, like marrying or being in a relationship with a person that has certain qualities. And also, my channel is a lot about dating Ukrainian women. I think that it can't always be by the nationality. You might meet somebody on the plane that is not Ukrainian, but definitely to add to your education and learning. You might have frustrating experiences. You might have people who are rude, and it's true. We don't have a habit to smile on the street. I smile, and people just don't know what to think. But I have to say that wherever I go, I always get the best service. It's just because I appreciate people that help me. We often don't notice people and just take them for granted. You just need to say a kind word to somebody and person opens up to you, or just smile. I had wonderful, very short experiences of interactions with people, like in subway or outside on the street, and it was wonderful. Just those tiny interactions. There were some moments of love and care to strangers, of exchange, of hey, this world is good, it was wonderful. And so as my son, he did the same thing. So I would say that another reason to explore Ukraine is because there is so much contradiction, because some of you guys are a little older and you've been around, you've been an adult in a war, not World War II, but Cold War, and you've heard things about Soviet Union and you think it's all this way, but you can really enrich your imagination by actually coming and exploring and breaking the stereotypes. By the way, there was a lot more people of different cultures and backgrounds and nationalities, not only in the center, but also in regions and districts. For example, my mom lives about 30 kilometers from the center, and there were foreigners also near my mom. So it's becoming a very sophisticated place. There is definitely great authentic food you can enjoy, the architecture, the history, and the modern world. You know, it was, I want to end with this. One of my subscribers told me, and I would just say that he is from California, and he told me, Veronica, I look at these people and I just see people, same as in US, same as anywhere else. And I was very surprised that he was saying that, because I did not expect to hear that from him. And he just like, I just see people. They are not that different. So that was a very interesting observation. Very interesting. So you need to make your own, because two people will go to the same city or country, and one person will say, oh my God, it's a mess. It was too hot. It was too cold. The people were rude. It was raining. Everything is ugly over there. People are horrible. And the other person will go and will have totally different experience, and will say, oh my gosh, people were polite. They're super nice. I love the food. I love the weather. So you can't rely on somebody living life for you. You gotta do it yourself, whether it's Ukraine, Argentina, France, or whatever it is. So think about that. You can't have somebody living life for you. And the thing is, your experience directly depends on you. Your experience is a mirror. When you are the person with a kind of bad attitude and low energy, it would be harder for you to have a positive, inspiring experience than if you are the person that is easygoing and open and ready for adventure. It's pretty obvious, but so you might want to work a little bit on your attitude before you go. I can tell you for sure it's not going to be perfect, but it could be awesome. Thank you, guys.